Welcome back to Ridiculously Professional.
Woo! How do you like my ridiculous shirt?
I like it. How do you like the ridiculous way I'm holding my microphone? Like
I love
Anthony,
it.
I'm about to get traded to the Mavericks, yo. What the heck?
Where you coming from?
I'm coming from the land of opportunity, dude. I'm coming from LA. They're gonna trade me for a way better player than me too, and I'm gonna go over there. I'm just gonna get hurt the first week and do nothing.
You're the reverse Luca?
I'm the guy who got traded for Luca. I don't know how I feel about that. On a side note, shout out to all my cat dads out there.
Yeah.
Just want to say, yeah, shout out to all my cat dads. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm glad that you got into it because I have been using my RB2B mug. Adam sent it over to me, asked if I could talk about it. So shout out Airbnb and their new Airbnb. Shout
Whoa,
out to
whoa, 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 whoa!
RB2B.
Don't give away our segments. We're gonna be talking that in a couple minutes. RB2B. Shout out Adam.
Shout out Adam, RB2B, Pete, all the guys over there. It's a great cup.
Hey, I heard they hit that 5 milli.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. They're
I
killing
heard
it.
they hit. I
Like,
heard they hit that 5 milli ARR. Let's go.
I mean, I love the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't say it. I dare you.
Yeah,
You won't say it.
I'm not
Unblank my startup.
Yeah. So let's hop into it. So this is Ridiculously Professional. This is our third show, and
Yes, sir.
we're killing it. Thanks for everybody that's been, watching all the shows, hanging out with us. We're having a good time. So this show, we're going to be talking about the AI arms race, the sales evolution of enterprise sales, Airbnb and their next venture. And then we're also going to just talk about leadership in an AI heavy world. You got anything to throw in there?
Yeah, I want to add into. You said something while we were preparing for the show where, hey,
Yeah.
we're just two guys with an unconventional path who are learning out loud, and
Yes.
like learn with us. Drop a comment, like if you have any
Yes.
interest in what we're talking about. I think Branson actually has a question for everybody out there, but let's learn together. Let's learn out loud. Let's get it going.
So our big question we're going to throw out for the day, which you can drop in the chat, is which AI model are you using the most? Do you trust the most foundational model? We got ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok. Which one are you using? I'll just throw out. I use ChatGPT as like my daily driver. It knows me. How about you?
Yeah, I'm a go-to on ChatGPT. I haven't like dove too deep into Claude. I haven't dove too deep into Gemini, and
Yeah.
honestly, like probably most people, Grok is the first time I've even heard that word. I didn't think I was ever going to even hear that word, and
Yeah.
it happened. So, yeah. And bonus question: if you use all of them,
Yeah.
drop in the comments. Why do you use
let us
Chat?
know.
What do you use Claude for? What do you use Gemini for?
So if you haven't watched a show before, we split it into these different segments. We schedule them 5 minutes apiece to keep us, on and running. Putting 5 minutes on the clock. Our first segment is we're talking about AI, and we're going to talk about AI first companies. Everybody right now seems to be wanting to go towards AI first. And
what does it even mean, Branson?
Yeah,
what does that even mean?
Honestly, I think that it means that you hate your employees, but that's my own feeling. But they've got Klarna's got their own issues that they have where they switch back. Duolingo, I love watching Duolingo on their TikTok because it's insane. But even people, I don't know if you've even seen like in their comments, Duolingo is getting backlash for switching to AI first company, and all their comments on like their just their regular videos now are like, "Did AI make this? Is this an AI?" So people are clearly like not happy, about it, and I think that I can understand why, because I mean, it seems like a heavy switch for a lot of these companies just to all of a sudden automate out to, I mean, it's one thing to like slowly add pieces in and then say, hey, we're going to use this as like a tool to help people, but it's completely different to say we're going AI first, we'll add people in later if we need them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And you had a really good point that, like, let's talk about this. To go AI first,
Yeah.
what do you think needs to happen first? Like, how do
you
you really implement AI effectively?
you got to have a good foundation.
Who is that foundation? Who is that foundation?
I mean, the company, the leadership, everybody in the beginning has to be on board. Everything, all your systems have to be put in place. They have to be humming along. And that's the only way that you'll know, basically, if you should automate or not.
Sure thing. And if you're trying to automate those processes, like, who was doing those processes on a day-to-day basis
Yeah.
first?
It's,
Humans, no?
yes. Well, I mean, they should be. Like, I mean, I've talked to several companies about that and saying, like, if you don't have the system set up, how do you know what to automate? How do you know what problems are going on? Like, realistically, it should be just accentuating people's jobs and making them better. I also think that this is like this crazy piece because we technically have had regular automation for a long time. Like, phone support, call in, press one, press two. This is not, for a lot of companies, this is not that much different. All it is now is like a human that's or I mean, a machine that's talking like a human, but you know how it is. Like when you call up, you don't get angry when you call up customer support because you got to say, I said number 6 like 5 times. You get angry because like you're wanting a person to like, connect with you and actually like understand you. It might not even be about resolving the issue. You just want somebody to care. And I think that a lot of the times when we're automating, we're throwing out the caring and just being like, well, let's just make it efficient.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about Klarna, because you mentioned Klarna, but you didn't really
Yeah.
mention exactly what happened with Klarna. What happened with Klarna recently?
What do you call it? They flipped over their customer support over to fully AI, and they had so many problems with it that they almost immediately switched back.
And
And
they fired people.
yeah, it was like, what, 700 people, something like that.
And then what did they
And
do after the systems failed because they weren't built on the right foundation?
they had to bring people back in.
They had to rehire people.
Yes. Well, and I think that this is also, people are going to be like talking like, oh, the AI is the problem. Like AI is the reason that this isn't working. AI is not, it's just a system. Like there's humans that set up the system. There's humans that run the system. It just does what you tell it to do. So like, you can't blame the process. You got to blame the people that set the whole thing up, that ran the processes. It's not AI that's the problem, because AI realistically in this point is just automation. We're too far ahead in thinking that we're making, like, what do you call it? Cyber humans or whatever we want to say.
Cyborgs. That's a ring. That's a ring.
There it is.
Before we move on, though, I'd
Yeah.
love to just end it here. Is that
Yeah.
a quick question for you? And maybe
Yeah.
this is rhetorical, but do you think that people are more, and people I mean like leaders of these companies that are going
Yeah.
AI first, which is not, we're not arguing that that's a bad thing. It's just how
Yeah.
you do it. But would you say that they're more excited about the opportunities that AI brings in terms of like a product perspective or process perspective?
Yeah.
Or are they more excited about the quick thought of, I can save more money if I don't have to pay humans and I can bring more value to my shareholders? What do you think comes first in those minds?
The real answer, I think that they want to be able to just get rid of as many people as possible so that they don't have to manage and pay people. I think that that's what most people, I think that if companies are listening to this, the subtle like subtext that gets thrown out there when you say you're AI first is that you don't care about your employees. Hey, if I could get rid of you and I could basically, just not pay anybody and not have to manage anybody and have somebody that works 24 hours a day, that's what I would do. And I'm hoping that that's what this does. That's what I read when I see AI first.
100%. Love it.
So on our next segment, we were going to throw out, you're going to run sales. You've been seeing a lot of sales trends.
We're going to talk sales, and we're going to talk sales
Yeah.
in the state of AI, in the state of AI, in the era of AI. And specifically, I wanted to spend some time talking about enterprise sales. Um, we all know, for anyone maybe who isn't in sales and is curious, like there's really three segments of sales. There's kind of like growth or SMB sales, right? Startup account executives, things like that. There's mid-market sales. These are more like upstream accounts, larger deals, longer sales cycles, but there's still a transactional aspect. And then there's enterprise sales. Enterprise sales is traditionally like the old guard. These are the really long sales cycles, multi-threaded buying committees, high ACVs, complex integrations, and trust and credibility is incredibly important for enterprise sales. Now, Branson, one
Yeah.
thing I'm seeing out there is that everybody is just hiring enterprise sales reps. And it's like
Yes.
really interesting. But then when you look at the descriptions or you look at the job function, is that it kind of just sounds like an SMB, growth, startup, or mid-market account executive or sales position. But this is something interesting to talk about, because I think with the introduction of AI is that it is, well, and AI has been around, right? But the real adoption of AI, I should say,
Yeah.
recently, is that it's allowing salespeople to act more like enterprise sales reps. So you can even bring that enterprise motion to the SMB motion, to the mid market motion, to the startup motion. The reason being is because at the root of it, enterprise sales is all about human connection. The fact of the
Yes.
matter is, like, if you're going to be selling a 6-figure or 7-figure deal, are you going to want to buy without talking to a human? That's a genuine question. Like, would you want to buy? Would you want to spend 6 or 7 figures on a
No.
product or service without talking to a human?
No, I mean, you're going to want to know because it's going to be like probably a 3-year cycle or two, it's probably a couple year cycle overall that you're going to be implementing, that you're going to be testing it out. Like, I want to know that there's somebody that's with me through that whole process that essentially has become like a new coworker. So I want to I don't want it fast, realistically. I want to know that it's done right. I want to know the experience is going to be good. And also, if I'm paying that much money, I want to know that like somebody's, I'm being, wine and dine a little bit. Like, that's
You want to
giving you,
go grab a
yeah,
steak or
yeah,
a nice portobello dinner, whatever is,
yeah,
suits your fancy, with
yeah,
someone that you're about to go to business with, of course.
yeah,
So where does AI come in, right? Well, AI, let's not even look at enterprise. Let's just look at any sales process. AI can personalize outreach at scale, right? We have tools that can
yes,
do that. Shout out Apollo. They have great workflows. Shout out Clay. Great workflows, great Clay sheets that help you do that. Call summarization, CRM updates, and objection handling. These are things that, like, the thing about sales and that we know is that a lot of it is about objection handling. And the thing is, in any deal, no matter what business, no matter what vertical, most people, most buyers have the same kind of response to any or same objection, I should say, to like any question or thought put out by a salesperson. Like, let's say one of the most common ones is like, right now is not the right time. Enter any product or any sales process, and buyers have that objection. So we can use AI to kind of have better objection handling and automate that process in our heads so we can learn it. And the second you hear that objection, you have the answer, right? AI co-pilots can suggest sales books, draft emails, and score accounts in real time. Actually, I'm really excited about AI for actually coaching sales reps, not replacing
yeah.
sales reps.
Also, the thing that you said, they were talking about, I think, because we get really into this, like, objection handling is like it's a war basically. And a lot of times we know that conversations are contextual, words are contextual, and a lot of times the person's just telling you like, I don't really trust this system. I got to find out more about what's going on. Or again, I don't think that they want like the answer to the question a lot of the times. They're saying different things without saying them, and I don't know that AI might get like the answer, like the textbook answer correct. But again, what the person wants to know is like, hey, I got a lot riding on this. My job's riding on this one. I want to know that this thing is going to work perfectly for me. Or right now, we're like super slammed at work. I don't know if right now is the best time to implement it, but I need you to help me out to also figure out, do we think this is the best time to implement it? back to your AI might just be like, well, this is an objection, so we need to overcome this. And you as the
Exactly.
salesperson is like, no, we don't need to overcome this. This person's actually like is, this is a serious concern. Let me see if we can actually walk through this. I don't think that automating your way just to get a like a solution is the way to go on that.
And I completely agree. So what I'm hearing is, and being really savvy in the sales process, is that AI is coming in for pre-sales and post-meeting.
Yeah, I
Pre-sales
mean,
and post-meeting. That's what AI is really helping with. Pre-sales, post-meeting. What do I mean
yeah,
by that? So pre-sales is like before I go to that steak or portobello dinner with this potential buyer, right? And we have that human interaction together. AI is going to help me be. I know we're at time here. We're going
that's
a
good.
little
Keep
bit
going.
longer on this one.
Keep
AI
going.
is going to help you have a better dinner, a better steak dinner with that
Yes.
buyer. It's not going to eat
Well,
the steak with the buyer, folks.
yeah.
Hate to say
Well, you got me on that one.
it.
I was gonna say what I know about enterprise clients that's different too is that time is important. So you're supposed to be doing the research. You're supposed to know all the problems that are going on. You're supposed like that's what you're supposed to be. So this helps you to get to that point where you're saving time for everybody so you can kind of work more on the relationship than the discovery type what do you think for that's generally for like the quick transactional sales. And we talked about this too, that there's a difference between transactional sales and relationship sales. Enterprise in itself is relationship based. And if you're using a transactional tool for a relationship based like sale, it doesn't make sense. Like, so realistically,
100%. Wait, can you say that one
yeah,
more time? Can you say that sentence one more time for everyone in the back?
you can't use a transactional tool for a relationship based solution.
Boom.
The problem with enterprise sales is part of the efficiency is the time that you're having. And if you cut that out, then actually, even if you're efficient, it's not efficient.
100%. Well said. So to end this segment, I will say lower
Yeah.
ACV motion is getting automated. Transactional sales is
Oh,
getting
yeah.
automated, but strategic accounts still see C-suite led sales and multi-month sales cycles, year sales cycles. So what this means for everyone trying to get into sales or already in sales is that if you're at growth startup phase, there's going to be a lot. And what I mean by that is a sales perspective is if you're a transactional seller, and you're just in
Yeah.
a business segment that's transactional, there's going to be a lot of replacement to that process. What we recommend, and I think Branson, I can speak for us when we say that, is
Yeah.
learn go to market engineering at that stage, but still have maybe lofty goals to eventually work C-suite and get into real enterprise sales. But the fact of the matter is that at the root of it, in my opinion, AI cannot automate trust. And that is the
Yes.
core idea here. And in enterprise sales and in multi decision making groups, by like meaning multiple decision makers in the group and the buying cycle, long buying cycles are still going to require trust.
Yes.
I mean, even transactional buying cycles will require trust, but you'll have to find a way to
Yeah.
automate that. But it will still require trust, and it will require a human pilot in the cockpit. But that human pilot is going to be so well equipped if you're using AI to automate pre-sales and post-meeting processes. That's what I got to say about sales, baby.
I think it's beautiful. I'll sum it up the same thing you said. You can't automate trust.
Can't get rid of that. Don't
Yeah.
forget about the experience that you provide in the sales process. And
Experience is
on the
everything.
note of experiences, how about
Boom.
that for a segue?
Let's
Let's talk tech news.
let's talk tech news.
Let's
With
talk
the,
tech news.
and the big thing with experience being everything, Airbnb's big shift.
Whoa, what is
Yeah.
happening there? What is happening there? Well, do you want me to give the quick rundown? I can
Yeah,
give
you
the
can
quick
run with it.
rundown.
Yeah, yeah.
What is Airbnb? Everyone knows what Airbnb. I'm not going to explain that, but traditionally it has been for like housing rentals, essentially like vacation
Yep.
rentals, right? But Airbnb, now they tried to get into Airbnb experiences before, but kind of failed with that product launch. But they have now introduced Airbnb services available in 260 cities near you, folks. and Airbnb Originals, which is premium experiences that include unique activities such as hop on, hop off wine tours, exclusive events with celebrities like NFL star Patrick Mahomes. And who are you most excited about having a day with in the Airbnb Originals world, Branson?
Well, you know what I say that my summer goal always is, right?
What's that? What's that?
It's to have a solid hot girl summer. So
Hey, we love it. We love a brat. We love a hot girl summer. We're all brats at the end of the day. You know, we all love it.
so I mean, there is nobody better than Megan the Stallion herself to
Isn't
teach
she
me
like
how
the
to have.
face?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is it? Did it? Wasn't the big release like? Wasn't she like the celebrity that
Yes,
is
but
like running this for them?
yeah, I know what you're thinking. I probably would want to go hang out with Patrick Mahomes, and he's not going to teach me hot girl summer. How am I going to get there?
Dude, you don't want to go play catch with Hermit the Frog? Yeah, folks. That's why we call it
Yeah.
ridiculously professional. The end.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
playing. I'm just playing.
But yes, yeah, but no. I mean, if Airbnb wasn't making this transition, I might have a medium summer, and I feel like honestly, shout out Brian Chesky for making it so we can actually live out our dreams overall. Because all I was able to do was rent out houses and have a good experience in a house, which is actually what I really wanted in the first place too. But hey, let's add some more things to this.
Well, let me recommend this too, right? Like, if they tell me the experience is over, like right at 10:59 and 59
Yeah,
seconds, like how most of these checkout processes go, I'm gonna
yeah,
be a little upset. You know, like I
that's
hope they
true.
don't carry over that, like you're done, like right
Right,
at right at the hour mark.
right.
Just no more balls with Patrick Mahomes. No more hot girl summer with Megan Thee Stallion. It's over. We need to
Yeah,
have like a come down process to like such a big experience like that.
just like we maybe we should do some consulting, kind of like with our buzzer situation, where the
Hey,
buzzer
hey,
rings, and if we need to have a little bit extra time, we throw it in there.
yes, exactly, man. You gotta leave some room for that. That slow down
Yeah,
process.
this is the opportunity that I just didn't see, but now I think we got it. But
I think,
yeah,
dude, future Airbnb buzzer consultants coming soon
yeah,
to theaters near you. But
that has
honestly, no,
been
like
huge.
this is really interesting though, because Airbnb is essentially trying to become the Amazon for experiences. If like
Yeah,
Amazon on other news is like going more down like the healthcare route and prescription pills and things like that, which is interesting. But I digress. Airbnb is just trying to create a platform to like live your life outside of the office.
yeah.
Anything you do on a day-to-day basis in terms of like weekend activities. So I'm really curious. I think let's do it on like a rate of like about it or not about it. I personally, I'm about it. I hope it works. I think it's interesting. I just know that it's failed once already with Airbnb experiences, but it seems like they're offering some new kind of like products to the table here, and maybe it lands. Are you about it or are you not about it?
Um, I'm about companies going and trying out new things and being in, a certain, space and trying to try out new spaces. I think that everybody is trying to do the everything app, and uh, I feel like we've kind of talked about before of even with verticalization of businesses. I think that everybody is actually shifting more towards like vertical based things. And I think that this everything was an idea from like 5 years ago. And I think that especially with AI and with the introduction of like smaller companies being able to build up bigger in areas, I think that verticalization is actually better at this point in time than everything, because I think that people would rather go to the one type of company or person for that one type of thing that's really good at that than they would go for everything.
I think that's a really I actually love that take. That's all I got. I'm just all about the vertical and niche too. So I
Yes.
want this to work, but that is a really
Yeah.
good point. And maybe this doesn't, and it opens up the space for new companies to come in and provide more like vertical experience platform based um, offerings, right? So
Yeah.
we're just at the beginning of this. This just happened, so we'll follow along and provide updates as they come.
So yeah, I mean, our last segment that we're getting into is leadership. I know that we have a lot of fun all the time, and I think we got to get serious for a minute because everybody is always, we're talking about the end result and not talking about the process. And I think that at this point, like our main moat in everything is our process. And I think that it's about the journey, not the destination. And I think that we really got to circle back to that because we're just too much about the end result. We really got to focus on the process.
Whoa, bro, we were having a lot of fun. That got serious.
Yeah, I actually just took my fortune cookie and put it in ChatGPT for this section. So
there he is. He's back.
But seriously, the process I think is something that we really got to focus on because I do think that's that we're getting way too into end results for everything when the process should be our end result.
I agree with you, man. I think we're getting a little carried away on end results, and I think it's time to bring it back and hone in the processes. 100%.
Everything go back to basics. Yeah, I think that's like our main piece. And I think that's kind of even what we're trying to do at this point in time. We joke about all this stuff and everything, but I think that is what we're trying to do with our ridiculously professional piece is make it so that everything we want everybody to get value out of this. We want people that are maybe entering the tech world or looking at entering the tech world and don't know about all this stuff. I think a lot of people in the tech world have been doing all this stuff for so long that they don't understand that the rest of the world doesn't understand their lingo, that doesn't understand like the way that they joke about stuff, the way that you Slack everything. Like, I think that there's certain pieces to the tech world that people are just used to, and I think that we need to get back to even if you're in the tech world, your customers don't always know your world, so it'd be nice to bring them into your world too, so that you can kind of, bridge that gap.
Mic drop. What the guy to the left of me said.
Normally we do like a speed round at the end of this. Kind of wanted to try this out. Let us know in the comments what you think of this style, where it's a little more chopped up into 4 even segments, or let us know if we need to go even more ridiculous next round because we can do that too.
Challenge accepted if anyone says that. Tell you that. Yeah, we got AI, we got leadership, we got tech news,
everything.
Sales update for you.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what foundational models you're using: ChatGPT, Claude, and whatever that one with the G that Branson said. I'm gonna go look that up right now. What is it? Grok.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Rob Gronkowski.
I know every time I hear it, I think the same thing. Thanks, everybody.
Peace out.
See ya.